Hi everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. Sorry about last week there, folks. I decided to just take a break, after video number 100, and yeah, I just kind of needed a break there, so we're back, and I do apologize. Hopefully, I'll stay on a consistent schedule from going forward. But yeah, this week we're going to be talking about the film Bruce Almighty, starring Jim Carrey. This one also stars Jennifer Aniston, as well as Steve Carell and Morgan Freeman as God. Interesting concept. It's an interesting premise as a film. It's basically something that for those of us that believe in God, have all thought about at some point or another. It's like maybe not 100% thought about it. Just maybe had a brief, fleeting moment thinking about like feeling like God's picking on us, like that. Woe is me, like why isn't God helping me, kind of thing. And in this one, Jim Carrey's character does it to the point that he pretty much pisses God off, and God says, "Well, you think you can do a better job here? I endow you with all my powers. Let's see what you can do with this." And it's funny that they do it in a way that's it's tasteful, and it's not blasphemous or insulting into religion in any way. It's quite humorous, actually. There's some really funny moments. I think part of that is having to do with their character selection. Like having God as Morgan Freeman is very tasteful. Like he's a very serious and refined actor. You can have some humor, but do it in a tasteful way. I think Jim Carrey is just perfect as Bruce Nolan. And of course, Jim Carrey is just a wildly funny guy. Um, but yeah, like basically, like I said, in this movie, Jim Carrey plays Bruce Nolan, he's a TV reporter, and he's got love of his life played by Jennifer Aniston, Grace, um, and just feeling like certain things aren't quite going the way he would like him in his life. Like he's a good reporter, but he wants the news anchor job. He wants the big job. That in the news reporting. This takes place in Buffalo, by the way, of all places that they pick. And at one point, he thinks that he's getting the anchor job. They set him up for a live feed, and it basically gets himself fired because they while he's on the live feed, they let him know that his rival at work, played by Steve Carell, Evan, gets the anchor position. Basically flips out, loses it, makes a complete ass of himself on live TV, and gets fired as a reporter. And it just snowballs from there until the point where, like I said, he alienates God enough of, that God basically says, like, you think you can do a better job? Here's my powers. Let's see what you can do. So it's just an interesting premise, and of course, he uses the powers initially to right a few wrongs in his own life, but he quickly learns that being God is a lot of work, and it takes basically, I hate to quote Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Because basically, having these powers, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, and a lot of, you got to look out for others as opposed to yourself, kind of thing. And of course, one of the things is he can't affect free will, because letting the power go to his head, and that he pretty much loses grace, and has to do a lot to win her back without using any of the godly powers he's been endowed with. So overall, just a great film. Like I find it's a very funny film. There's a lot of great humor in this. Like when I watched it recently, I hadn't seen it in quite a while. I forgot how funny this film is. It's from I can't remember the exact year that it comes out, but it's like from the early 2000s. It's quite an old film. I was just looking in the back here to see if I could see exactly when it came out. Yeah, I can't quite seem to see it, but yeah, I know it's like in the early, maybe mid 2000s. But yeah, just a great, funny film. Lots of funny comedic moments in it, especially when you get like some like famous comedians like Jim Carrey, Steve Carell, just really at this point the top of their game, and of course Morgan Freeman, just a veteran actor. Just as interesting take a storyline for a movie. Really well done. Like I said, the story is great, the acting is great, the production quality is on point. Yeah, even some of the music that they mix in is great. But for me, like I said, what makes this movie is the comedy. Lots of great comedy. Even though for the number of times that I've seen this, there's certain scenes that just kill me every time. Um, so yeah, I highly recommend Bruce Almighty if you've never seen it. Do yourselves a favor, folks. Check it out. Not sure if it's available on any streaming platforms. You can definitely find it wherever movies are sold. And I hope you enjoyed that little shorter video this week. We're just trying to get back into it, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. All right, folks, take care and have yourselves a great night.